Mr. and Mrs. Davis here.
Yes, yes, yes.
We're going to kick this thing off right today.
Mm-hmm.
First off, I want to start by saying, hope everybody's doing well, got good energy, and let's keep it going and stay positive. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, today, we got some stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, if you don't mind me chiming in,
Mm-hmm.
since our first intro, it's been some time since that
Yeah.
recording,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't really posted anything to our page yet, but we have talked. We've had plenty of discussions, and it's just about that time to post some stuff on the page, on the board.
Yep.
For a number of different reasons, and the one primary reason is that we have a lot of folks, which includes our personal circles of people,
Mm-hmm.
to our social circles, to our business circles.
Right.
And hubby and I just started going back to church just about 3 weeks to 4 weeks ago. And it's a refreshing journey for us.
Most definitely.
Since our marriage in January of this year, it's been about 5 months now. And it's real. Marriage isn't easy, it's hard. Um, it is work. And we found that through the course of 5 months within our marriage, a lot of folks have had a lot of questions for us as far as like advice on their own relationships, and just a plethora of different topics. So we want to focus on mental wellness and relationships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So first off, let's start with the topic of trauma. Trauma is an emotional, psychological, or physical response to a distressing event that overwhelms your capacity to cope. Meaning it could be something that was psychological, physical, or just stressful that happened to you at any point in time in your life. It doesn't matter how far or how recent. It happened.
Right.
And once that thing has happened, it leaves a mark on you that never really goes away. So when we think about coping, right? Now we're going to move into healing and coping. How do we heal? How do we cope from trauma?
Right.
And then if we're not able to heal and cope, it also hinders us from having healthy relationships and being productive individuals within our own families and within our own professions, whatever field you may be in, or within our own communities. And that's really hard because it's impossible to live and do life without people involved. So speaking of healing and coping, for a man, right? Let's say within your age group, someone like yourself, what do you do to cope with your own experience of trauma? And then I guess the first question I should ask, is there a specific trauma that you would like to share, if you like? Or like an example, it could be an example.
Right.
Is there a particular trauma you would like to share or speak about? And then the other question would be, what would be a healing or coping method to deal with that trauma?
That's a very good question. Very good question. For me, man, with me, it was more of like, didn't know how to deal with it at first when I was going through with it. But it took a lot. So for me, like a trauma for me was like not moving when I should be moving, if that makes sense.
Okay. So now you mentioned trauma, and then you also mentioned not moving.
Right.
Now, not moving is just the outcome.
It is.
It's just the effects, the after effects of the trauma. But now we were talking about trauma. What about the trauma? Can you label that trauma? Can you just give us an example? We
Okay.
hear the outcome of it, which
Yeah,
is good.
most
But
definitely.
what is a good prime example of a trauma
A trauma
that
that,
men face these days?
ooh,
A
man,
black man,
a black man.
your age.
Right, right, right.
Let's go there.
Yeah, because it's deep too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you face certain things in life, like for an example,
Mm-hmm.
if you lose your car, lose your apartment, lose your marriage,
There you go.
lose your life to jailhouses and stuff like that, you know, and where people really go through, certain things in
Your
that nature.
health is declining.
Exactly. So it's like, with me, for me, at a point in my life was I lost my car, I lost my apartment, and it was not okay. You know, I was young at the time.
How
and
old were you?
I was about 25 years old, dealing with stuff like that. And of course, I was still learning things. You know, I was getting to the other stage of my life as I was getting older. But around that time, it was just, you know, like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I need to focus on this first and then do this next. But see, where I had it messed up is that my priorities wasn't straight at a younger age. I was still learning things, and that was my problem. So what did I do? I'm like, okay, do I just live with it and keep going, or do I fall and just say forget everything? So I say no. Obviously I got to deal with it. I learn from it, and that way I will get better. And that was a trauma for me, growing up. And like I said, at the age of 25, it was bad. But now, the other question about that: how did I cope with it? Right? How did I, So for me, I like listening to music, all type of different music. I just don't stick to one, rap song or whatever. I like to listen to other different people's music, whether from rock, hip hop, R&B, whatever. And with me, I'm more of like, get to sit outside, go walk around, take some fresh air. Don't sit in the house all day, because like once you coped up in the house all day, it's like you feel stuck. I was more of like going outside and just being out there. And then with me, I like to work with my hands. I used to work on my bikes all the time,
Yeah.
play video games all the time. Like, it was just me. And now that I'm older, I learned from everything that happened way before then up until now. Because now I will say is that I am in a better position than what I was back then. Like for instance, me and you, we got married. We got our things that we work on and that we go through. You know what I'm saying? And then
that was our first investment.
Right.
Within ourselves, to ourselves,
Most
with
definitely.
us together.
Most definitely.
Marriage is an investment, and it's also in the spiritual dominion. Marriage is a ministry. So that'll be your first ministry.
Yep.
It's your marriage.
Exactly. So, but now I want to get into answering the other part of that question too, as well. For my age group, as a young black man or an older black man, most people would deal with certain stuff, losing somebody. That is really a trauma for a person.
So loss of a loved one.
Yep, family member, somebody that's real close to you. And I think a lot of people deal with that, and some people don't know how to deal with it, some others do.
Can I ask, before you continue, do you think it makes a difference depending on who passed away? Do it hit you different? Or does it all hit you the same? But you have had to lose that many people,
right,
from different aspects to be able to.
Yeah, I would say it depends on who it is.
On that.
I think it depends on who it is.
So your level of trauma and level of pain, healing, and coping does have to do with your significance to that person. So once again, relationships is a big thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And the reason why I say it depends on who it is because it's like for instance, with me, my story with my mom, and I lost her at an age where it was hard for me, and from the story I had told you before, and I wouldn't mind sharing it here, is that when that did happen, a lot of people was like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't commit suicide. Like, I don't want to hear stuff like that, and I just lost my mom, you know what I'm saying? And most people would be like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't get strung out on drugs or stuff like that. And like with me, I'm not that kind of person. When I lose somebody, I'm gonna just go haywire, like,
You know, As you're going, I'll be chiming in.
Most definitely.
So why do you think those people respond the way they do? Before you answer that, for me personally, I've gotten that before. And sometimes, sadly, it's your own people in your circle. It could be your first very immediate family members that will say stupid stuff like that.
Right.
Right? They, number one, I want to say is the lack of emotional intelligence. You can't read emotions. So therefore, you have no knowledge. You're ignorant to the facts. Okay? And you are not trained to respond to that person in that mind state.
Right. Right.
So, and then also another piece of that is these are the same people that maybe have experienced the same trauma, if not the same, some sort of trauma, and never healed and learned to cope. So they just learn to just, sweep it under the rug. Now it's just like a Band-Aid over a Band-Aid. The wound never heals. It's just a Band-Aid over a Band-Aid. And what they do is finally they move on to life, get into these meaningless relationships. They try to take that Band-Aid off. But guess what? That's that same wound. You kept putting a Band-Aid over it and never healed. And then when you think you have found your person or you have found your crew or whatever, you think it's safe to take that Band-Aid off. When you take it off, you're bleeding all over the place, damaging. Right. Not only to you, but everyone else. Once again, relationships.
Yep. And, you know, to answer your question, I really wouldn't even know the reason why people would do that in the first place, besides, like, they're like, you know, they might not all be there. Like, they just, oh, hey, I heard about this. Are you okay? Like, of course a person is never going to be okay in that particular moment.
No.
But it's just like, I can't really get upset or mad or get defensive because it's like, they just now figuring it out themselves too. And with me, you know, in the back of my head, I'm like, of course I want to black out on everybody that asks me a crazy question like that. But it's just like, I wouldn't be no better if I do that. If anything, I'm just showing signs of weakness and I don't want to do that. So, you know, just with that it's, you know, it's just.
You know what? You said a very powerful word. And it's contradictory to the word itself. Weakness. It's powerful, but the word itself represents everything it's spelled out to be. I want to say, just from what I see, men are trained and groomed forever now, for generations, to not be soft, to not cry, to not whine, to not complain, to not show all of everything that's emotional, anything that represents expressing yourself, anything that implements expressing yourself, your inner self. A man was trained to not do that since the very early stages.
Right.
So now we have men walking around with effed up identities. They're unclear about what it is they're supposed to be doing and how they're supposed to do it. With the lack of direction, the lack of proper guidance, it contributes to that messy journey. But I want to hear from you. What do you think when we speak in that aspect? Just what do you think? That's just my opinion, because that's just what I've seen.
And you are most definitely are right, and I'm gonna say why. Because at a younger age, I didn't have a lot of things growing up, you know, and a lot of people probably experience that, you know. And once you get older, it's like, now I can do whatever I need to do. But growing up, I was pretty much, it was like, either you get it or you don't. And it was more of like, hey, you cry about it now or later, and it was just it was just more of like, okay, you need to toughen up. You can't cry about everything that you need, that you see, or that you want, you know, because it's a difference between from your wants and your needs. And I had to learn that at a young age too as well. So I didn't really have as much, but I had enough to have a roof over my head and clothes on my back and something to eat. And that was mostly important to me at a younger age. But, you know, with men now, with the generation we live in now versus back then, I will say a lot of people probably won't understand until they understand. And that's why a lot of people would treat their kids like it's royalty, and then some people would treat their kids like, hey, look, check this out. I need you to understand this. I'm not gonna have money all the time for that particular thing, but let me work on it. So yeah, I will say at a younger age, I most definitely experienced all of that. Most definitely did.
Okay. So we talked about trauma. We talked about healing and coping.
Right.
Now, before we move on to the next bullet of community and relationships, I want to talk about healing. There's a thing called therapy.
Yes. Yes, it is.
What are your thoughts, your opinions, or even suggestions when it comes to the black man in therapy?
Well, most definitely, I want to start off by saying this. If you have a partner, whether it's your wife, your girlfriend, somebody that you got close to you, like a best friend or something like that, communication is key. I will say that, most definitely. Communication is key.
What does communication look like?
Oh, man. Communication is both of y'all sitting down in a quiet room or even outside like how we are now, and with no distractions. And then if it is distractions, don't pay attention to it, because once you and that person are locked in, a lot of things will come out. The truth will come out. The feelings will come out. Sometimes y'all might even share tears, but it's a good thing because y'all communicating with each other. It's like my soul with your soul, and we coming all together. Like we locked in. That's what I feel like communication is, because we're strong.
Remember, and here's a message I would like to throw in there and use too. You know, we go to the Planet Fitness to work out, right?
Oh, yes.
And when we get in that area where there's the leg press machines and the weights and stuff like that, there's that main their theme message that you will see.
Oh,
No
yeah.
judgment zone.
Yeah. That's
so
right.
no judgment. Okay, so here's the thing. Remember, that's your partner. Okay, you have to remember that's your partner. Respect your partner, respect the space, make it a safe environment for you both to be comfortable enough so that you guys can be 100% in sharing everything that you need to share.
Right.
Because you may go into the conversation first with the idea and with the approach of, I'm only going to share just enough that I'm comfortable with. Yes, of course. But if you provide a safe, quiet, with no distractions preferably, right? But I get that some of us have small dogs like we do ourselves. We might have some little kids in the back.
Right.
We kind of have to work with all of that.
Yeah, you got to. Most definitely.
Make it safe. That's number one.
Oh, yeah.
Safe can mean free. Like, let's get real. If you're one of those combative, aggressive type folks, make sure you're in a room where you're free from objects. Okay?
Yep.
No alcohol, no substances involved.
None of that. You can
Nothing
be sober.
with any sounds, noise, nothing. It should just be you and that other person's voice.
Yep.
In that room.
Most
Okay?
definitely.
That's safe. That's number one. And then two, make sure it's a space where nobody can interrupt your sanctuary space.
Absolutely.
That is a space where you and your partner go to check in with each other. You go to check each other, and you go to break each other down and build each other back up. That is called your sanctuary, your safe space for you and your partner.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yep. And that right there is what you call the ultimate breakdown. Because a lot of people sometimes don't understand exactly what it means. But now they understand what it means. It's like, okay, this is how I'm supposed to do. Because my thing is, it's one thing to lay the surface, but you got to lay the whole entire thing. Like, you can't just be like, I'm floating up here and then not hit the bottom. You most definitely got to hit the bottom as well. Why? It's because, like I said earlier, that's when all of the truth and all of the things come out, and the feelings, and everybody really connecting now. You know what I'm saying? So I most definitely do feel like when we have conversations is key, because when you and your partner are speaking, And I'm talking about not just, oh, hey, how's your day? Like, nah, this is some real life things that we are doing. Like for me, what we do, we talk. We don't sit around each other all day on YouTube, watching movies. No, we don't even turn the TV on sometimes. We're conversating.
Yes, there's been times where, well, let's just break down what a typical day looks like for us, right? We're out in the field 5 days a week. Hubby is in the football field once a week or once every other week, depending on what the schedule is like.
Right.
I want to say, do not wake up expecting anything but positivity. Every day is going to be different. Your partner may wake up moving a little different.
Yeah.
What I have to remind myself, right? We go into the day like, okay, sometimes some of us have a problem with, like, for example, we can stub a toe on the bed. Oh, we're caught up with a storm. Oh, you're about to have the worst day of your life. You haven't even left the house yet. And now that's your attitude for the entire day. Versus, okay, maybe you left the house, everything went smooth, and then you go out into the field and boom, somebody says something to you crazy or does something disrespectful, boom, you lose your lid. I want to say, regardless of the scenario, it starts with us. Because I can't count how many times I left the house where I could have chose to have a bad day, or where I could have chose to leave a conversation where it's at and to revisit later. And sometimes I went against what I knew better and the outcome wasn't so good. So recognize that there's a time and a place for everything. Prioritize. You're never too busy for anything, especially if it matters to your well-being, your productivity,
Yes.
and your level of success.
Come on now.
Understand that it's the very decisions that you make each day, which includes whether or not you're going to have a good day.
Yep.
It's all attitude. So now, the last bullet I want to touch before we run out of time, I want to be respectful of our time and everyone's time, because I know that our attention span kind of goes past 30 minutes. But community building and relationships. So we spoke about trauma, different trauma, right? We don't want to go too deep into that because we know that's a very sensitive topic. Only you know what that trauma is. If you have one, if you don't, that's fine. You know someone though.
Yeah.
I don't believe that there's not anybody in the world, besides ourselves, at least somebody connected to us, we know is experiencing some sort of trauma or healing stage in their life.
Yeah.
So community building and relationships. Once again, going back to the beginning of this recording, when it comes to us human beings, as individuals or as groups, as organizations, businesses, corporations, whatever, communication, comprehension, transparency, self-accountability, okay?
Right.
Self-agency, which means like an inventory check of yourself and you being able to manage and discipline yourself.
Absolutely.
All of that matters, and we are all responsible for that to our own extent, to our own degrees. Yep. Everybody has a part in the community, in your community, in his community, and their community, and that community, a community we left behind. Everybody has a part in it.
Yep.
The communities that our children are a part of, their schools, in their neighborhoods. Everybody has a part to play.
Yep.
So what does that mean? That goes back to our self-accountability, right? Our healing is our responsibility, okay?
Yep.
That is the hardest part, is getting started. The hardest part is getting started. Recognizing what the trauma is one thing. um, taking the necessary steps to get the healing is another. And then coping. How do you go through the healing process, deal with the after effects, deal with the, withdrawals or whichever, if that applies to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with the voices in your head? How do you deal with that? I want to say, I understand.
Right.
It's very dark. It's very lonely. It's very scary. Most times you don't even trust yourself, let alone trust everyone else. The truth is you really don't trust yourself. So therefore it's easier for you to say, I don't trust people, when it's really yourself.
Right.
So as you can see, it's always self-reflection first, self-accountability first, before you can lead anybody in any direction towards any goal.
That part right there.
The goal is self-agency in order to manage an agency of whatever it may be. Agency in your life, agency in your business, agency in your church, agency in your community. Self-agency first, and then your relationships and your community. Speaking of community and relationships, if your therapy is one thing, counseling is another, coaching is another. It's a lot of different methods, a lot of different search engines you can use, resources you can use, right? Then the last but not least, the most overlooked and misinterpreted method will be your own circle. First, heal yourself, or if you have a hard time with that, you don't know how to get started, you don't know how to stay the course, you don't know how to continue the process and come out okay, you're afraid or whichever, it's not going to be easy. It's okay, you're not alone. So I want to say, get you a community of people who understands and know of you and your trauma and your troubles. People that will not judge you. And sometimes it may not be people, it might just be one solid person.
Right.
Find somebody you can lean on, because sometimes we're not going to be able, we don't have the capacity to hold everything, because sometimes it weighs so much. It's so much. We need somebody or something to fall back on, and it's okay. It's lonely, it's dark. Once again, it's lonely, it's dark. It's lonely, it's dark. You can't do it by yourself.
You cannot. It is very hard to do it by yourself. And when it gets
It's
hard,
okay to talk about it.
Right. When it gets hard, I was about to say that. Once it gets hard, talk. Don't hold it in, because the more you hold it in, it's like you're holding grudges against other people, against yourself.
That's the worst, is yourself first.
Right. You're hiding things from yourself. Talk about it. Get it out. Understand that when you have communication with somebody else, with the person that's close to you, they can help you understand. And then most people, they can't help me understand. Well, how would you know if you don't talk?
Yeah.
So whatever it is that you're hiding, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever it is that's stopping you from being you, have a conversation. Trust someone. There's somebody out there in the world that you can really go to right now and have that conversation.
There's somebody.
Get it out. Cry about it. Whatever it is you need to do, let it out. Because you have that demon here and that angel here. Get that demon away from you. Let that angel talk. That's God calling you. God is literally letting you know, hey, get up. Let's move forward.
That's for my religious folks. And then we also have our secular folks too as well. We're not pushing religion on anyone. But I just want to say how I found healing in my early stages. Well, let's just say I come from a family of Buddhism. And my mother actually introduced me to Christianity. And that's what I chose to live. And when hubby and I met, we were kind of at different stages of our lives spiritually. So because of that, we had a lot of complications. So I want to say, last but not least, right? Last but not least, when it comes to community or relationship building, whatever kind of relationship it may be a boyfriend, a husband, business partner, it can be an organization partner, whatever. Make sure that person has the same vision as you do.
Mm.
Because if, number one, if vision is not there, how the hell are you going to move forward?
Right. Mm-hmm.
No one's going anywhere. You guys don't have a plan. And they also have to understand you for you, be able to accept you for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to know how to cover you as well, because you don't know how to cover you. You're seeking help. There's somebody out there. You do not have to do it alone.
Nope.
And
Do not.
And I'm trying to make this as humorous as I can. And please forgive me for my dark sense of humor. But I want to say this. If you're thinking about killing yourself, don't do it.
Mm-mm.
Life is too beautiful. Life is too sweet. There's so much out here waiting for you. But because you're in that dark hole, you can't get out. Opportunities, life is passing you by. You don't have anyone in your corner. And what brought you there, I don't know. You know. But I also know that somebody else knows.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out. Make a lot of noise. No one hears you. Disrupt some stuff. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Raise up your voice. It starts with your voice. Raise up that voice, okay? Raise up your voice.
Absolutely.
Create all the noise you need to create. Because I'll tell you right now, while we live in a world of social media, Instagram, TikTok, and we got creators, influencers making millions. We got people who's messed up in the head, struggling, dying, killing themselves in mental institutions, being released to the streets, or living normal lives and struggling with a mental imprisonment they never talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Because these social media platforms are so busy creating and busy getting rich, they don't have time to think about mental wellness.
Right.
Who's ill? Who's going to die? Who's going to commit suicide? They don't think about stuff like that. So I want to say we care. We're
Definitely.
here.
Mm-hmm.
And I too, at one point, I was 15 when I experienced a moment. You know, it was a bottle of Tylenol and a bottle of tetracycline. I had 2 bottles, 14 years old, when I decided to down all those pills with a glass of water. In about 10 minutes after that, I felt my body warming up. My face is blue and green. I tell my sister, go get Madeira. I cannot make it. I will not make it. And tell me how crazy that sounds. I know. Pathetic fool. Oh, I could see all the judgment. I could hear all the judgment. That's fine. Go ahead. But that's where I was at. And I'll tell you, they took me to the Harriet campus in Berkeley, California. I was in, I believe it was a rehab clinic for about a week. And I was then released. But the whole time I stayed writing. I never stopped writing.
Mm-hmm.
I started writing from what I can remember at 7 years old. And remember, that was the age I also got introduced to Christ. Something moved inside me. I didn't know how to speak. I didn't know how to express what I was experiencing. It was music and writing.
Music and writing.
That's what got me through.
Yeah.
I tried to kill myself, you guys. I was 15. My sister saved my life. So remember, that one person.
There's somebody out there for somebody. I'll tell you that, most definitely. All you got to do is stay connected. Like I said, communication is key. Word of the day, communication. So anyhow,
Thank you, hubby, for bringing us out. We love the outdoors, as you can see. We are not, we're only using what we have to get the message out there. We are not at the high, fancy, classy, usual, typical studio that you will see on Instagram. Because this is what it is.
Right.
This is what we live for. This is what we do in our community. This is literally what we do.
Yep. Being outdoors, it's a lot different
Right.
than being inside of a room.
Studio.
Yeah. So.
But anyhow,
that's all the time we got today. Until the next one.
Take that with some love. Take that with some inspiration. Take that with some guidance and direction. Go home, write you a couple things down. Figure out an action plan for whatever stage of your life you're in. Nothing comes to life until you get real with yourself. Face that thing, face you. Write that down and do it.
Absolutely.
Confidence. For those that are struggling with confidence and self-esteem, you don't believe you're worth it. You don't believe you deserve anything. You don't believe you're good enough. Let me tell you something. You're going to do that thing that sometimes tell you, nah, I don't feel like it. Going against your feelings.
Right, that part.
Doing
right
that thing anyway. It's what builds confidence. I feel like I need to say that again.
One more time.
I feel like I really need to say that again. For those of you lacking confidence and self-esteem, you feel like there's not an ounce of worth in you, I want to say, do that very thing that you are afraid of or you're basically BSing from doing. Do that thing and you will build all the confidence you need to do everything else that comes with it.
Come on now.
What the hell y'all doing?
Come on now.
Playing with yourselves.
So yeah.
Anyway.
Man. Y'all take that.
Yes.
Learn from it. Don't get in your feelings now, because we ain't here to do all of that.
Nah.
We're here to help you, teach you, have what? I guess you could say train.
Yes,
me,
this is coaching. Yes.
We just
yes.
Look, man,
we start off coaching each other, and we're coaching others now in their relationships. So I mean, we walk the talk over here, honey buns.
Right. So we just pretty much letting y'all know, helping y'all learn a couple of things. So yeah, but that's all the time we got today, y'all. So
love y'all.
Stay tuned.
Take care
to
of
the
yourselves.
next video. Also follow our social media down below in the description.
Oh, you have it down?
Oh, I will have it down for sure.
Beautiful.
Everything will be down there. And yeah, man, y'all stay tuned to the next one. Out.